guys, I'm Samantha. Welcome to my channel. I am here to talk about the books that I read for the month of September. I am kind of behind on recording my wrap-up this month, and I honestly, it wasn't a bad month reading-wise, but it compared to the last couple of months, it's definitely on a lower end of reading, but it's not too bad. But let me go ahead and get into my stats for the month of September. Okay, so for September, I got 13 books read, at approximately 2,772 pages read, at least 1 hour listened. I acquired 3 books. 6 books were checked out from the library. 1 book was DNF'd. 4 series started, 5 diverse reads. Of the source of the books, 6 were ebooks, 6 were physical, and 1 was a mixture between like physical and audio or ebook and audio. For format, graphic novel 4, manga 3, novel 4, and 2 novellas. Audience 9 adult and 4 YAs. And just the breakdown of the genres: contemporary 2, erotic 1, fantasy 5, historical 2, nonfiction 1, and retellings 2. So yeah, a pretty decent variety of books going on there. Let me get into the actual books that I read. The first one being Nimona by N.D. Stevenson. I give this 4.5 stars. This is a graphic novel that follows a girl as she is wanting to become an apprentice to a supervillain, and she also has a magical ability that allows her to shapeshift, and she is trying to be the best psychic she can be, but things just kind of keep going wrong. I really did love this book. I can see what the hype is about when it comes to this one. I read it for the Introverted Reader Readathon, Vampire Diaries Readathon, and I started to participate in Battleathon, but I kind of just lost track of it, and I kind of flaked out on the rest of the month, unfortunately. Book 2 is Zero's Journey by D.J. Milky. This was 3.5 stars. This was like a manga adaptation of like Nightmare Before Christmas Zero, where you follow him as he kind of gets pulled into Christmas Town by accident, and it just shows what he gets up to during that time. I thought it was alright. I'm a really kind of a stickler when it comes to like my favorite things being adapted into other things, and it has to have that same vibe to it for me to really enjoy it, and this kind of didn't quite hit the mark for me, unfortunately. This was, I had also read it for the Introverted Reader Readathon, words, and Vampire Diaries Readathon. Then I read Fables, a Storybook Love by Bill Willingham. I'm actually kind of reading these out of order, I realize. I'm just, whatever my library happens to have access to, or like Kindle Unlimited thing, and Comixology, Comic Plex, I can't remember exactly which one that my library has, but this is one that I think I read through Kindle Unlimited. Gave it 3 stars. I thought it was decent. Fables is a comic book graphic novel series that follows what it sounds like, the different fairy tales and fables characters, as they're pretty much immortal and have their own little kind of town and universe within our universe, and how they kind of this one kind of revolves around the theme of love, and what their stories kind of intertwine into each other that way. This was also for the Introverted Reader Readathon and Vampire Diaries. I had started this book, the next book, book 4, mostly in August, but I ended up really finishing it like in September. I actually finished it right before we landed back here at home when we went to go visit my family in Tennessee, and it's The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I have my own copy, but it's in the other room, and I'm not about to like schlep books back and forth right now. But I give it 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. Pick Pong-a-thon that had happened to fit one of the prompts that I randomly chose from it. This happened to fit it. Same thing for Vampire Diaries and Introverted Readathon. I highly recommend it, and I am really interested in seeing what book 2 has in store, because the way that this one ended, you can tell that there's supposed to be more to the end of the story, but it doesn't, if it's not your jam, it doesn't feel like you're going to be missing a whole lot. This follows a girl as she is kind of labeled the outcast in this really cultish type of community where you have the prophet who has the multiple wives and all this, and she's labeled as outcast because her mom was supposed to be a prophet's wife when she fell in love with someone who his family deals in witchcraft, and they both were killed. Her father was killed at the stake, and her mom ended up going insane right after she had given birth to her. And it just follows her as she's trying to figure out what's going on in her village and the reason why things are happening to her. It gets really dark in some spots, but I really, really did enjoy the story, and I can't wait to read the next one. Book 5, I continued with the Thalia series by Katie Robert, which is Theirs Ever After. It's number 3. Got this one 4 stars. It has more politics to do within this one, and at the end it kind of puts a bow on this like throuple's relationship, or like a good ending for that couple. And I believe the rest of the series you're supposed to follow more like other characters within that world. Here, he's bringing me a mouse. He's a good boy. Thank you. I appreciate you. You want to say hi? Come here. He's a good boy. Alright, let Mom work. But yeah. Number 6 is Short Stories from Hogwarts of Heroism, Hardship, Dangerous Hobbies by J.K. Rowling. I gave this 4 stars. This was something that I just happened to have on my Kindle app, and I started when I was waiting for doctor's appointments, and it was just little short stories in regards to certain characters of the series. That not much really to say about that. And then my one DNF for the month, book 7, is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I just could not get into it. I had picked this up for a themed reading vlog that I'm still in the process of kind of like picking up books for. There's just the concept I really wanted to like, but it's just the way that the wording is. It was really dry and packed with a lot of information that my brain just couldn't latch onto at this point in time. So I got like maybe about 100 pages into it and decided to give it up. If I'm perhaps in a better headspace for it in the future, I might try to give it another shot. But at this point in time, I'm just something that's that dark academia and language heavy, I'm just not into at this point in time. Then for the Witchathon Maybon round, which was our 24-hour round, I picked up Norse Mythology Volume 1 by Neil Gaiman. This is the graphic novel adaptation of his novel. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It definitely gives more of humor to some of the stories for me because of just the way that the artist can really put their own flair to the different artworks. And Mike Mignola, I believe he was one of the writers for this, and he is one of my favorite comic writers for Hellboy. So I was really happy to see his work in there because I am a big fan of his work. So it really did bring out that story for me. And then book 9 and 10, I read Rent a Really Shy Girlfriend, volume 1 and 2 by Regi Majamiya. Gave them both 3.5 stars. It was alright. I didn't realize that this was more of it being a spin-off from the Rent a Girlfriend series, which Jordan has watched the anime, and I've seen bits and pieces of it. I didn't realize this doesn't really have a whole lot to do with that particular series, but you would probably understand it a little bit more if you had read that previous series, so that was on me. I also read this for the Maybon round. And the main character, I understand with her being really shy and stuff, but it got to the point where it was a little cringy at how hard she was having a hard time communicating with people. It just felt kind of hard for me to find her likable because I was just a little bit irritated with her. 11 is The Adventure Zone Here There Be Gerblins, Volume 1 by Greg McElroy. Gave this 4 stars, read it also for Maybon. I found it hilarious, and if you are like me and wanting to get more into D&D, this is definitely something that you can read and get you into the spirit of some D&D campaigns. I highly recommend it, and I would like to pick up Volume 2 to read really soon. 12 short stories from Hogwarts of Power, Politics, and Pesky Poltergeist. I gave this also 4 stars. It was another one of those that was quick to read that I picked up just when I'm in the waiting rooms waiting for my doctors. And the last book I read is 13 Quackery, A Brief History of the Worst Ways to Cure Everything by Linda King, MD, and Nate Penderson. My pen is going out. I'm probably butchering it, but I'll have the cover on screen. Give it 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this nonfiction book. It brought you this knowledge with a good sense of humor attached to it, that it didn't make it seem like a slog to get through. Because I have a hard time with some nonfiction books that it's super dry and more reads like textbook styled. It'll take me forever to read, but books like this have a good sense of humor and a good storytelling to it. I can see myself like flying through it and rereading it again in the future, and I would love to have my own copy one day. I highly recommend this. And those are the 13 books I happened to either pick up and finish or just decided to put down in the month of September. Let me know in the comments below if you read any of these books and what were your favorites and what was your favorite of September. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.